Wow, still getting used to this Ecamm thing. Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, trying to set up what I want to do today, and everything appears to be up and running, except for one thing. Give me a second to take care of that. Okay, there I got it. How's everyone doing? Thank you for those who have come in already. And already I lost my iPad so I can monitor the sound. There we go. I think we're back now. Okay, good. The sound is good. There are no viewer requests, and that's a first. So this will give me the opportunity now to have conversation with the chat and take any requests that you may have. Let's see. Seven folk. Yes, it's I like to think that the word is getting out that I'm available on Saturdays around this time. My YouTube analytics tell me that Saturday is the most populated time that people are actually viewing my channel. So I think I'm going to make Saturday. Welcome. Good morning, Micah. Make Saturday a automatic for when the most people are actually viewing the channel. Oh, thank you for doing that. I forgot to do this. Yes, I am learning to make sure that I get that in. I'm going to change that video. That's the first one that I used, but I want to get a more professional looking one. So I'll either be creating it myself or finding a site that has them already created, investing in them, which is a good thing, and that's supporting content creators and giving you a more polished or more growing show. Even though your camera is off, your mic is still alive with this scene. Supposedly, whenever I run a video, it's supposed to shut the mic off. I know it was the Blood Thedrid D. Not sure I know that one, but we'll look it up on YouTube to see what it sounds like. So, from a conversation standpoint, I actually had to go to Chat GPT to give me some ideas of things to talk about since I didn't have a lot of or any videos. Why am I seeing another? Okay, another screen popped up because Ecamm does that. It gives you a screen to make sure that you see what's being um, presented. So we may talk about the journey of faith in music, the power of music, the power of gospel music in modern times, behind the lyrics, balancing ministry and industry, and the future of gospel music. Those are 5 topics. Won't get to all of them, but I may see which one you may think would be apropos to talk about in this changing time that we're in. And certainly gospel music has changed from my era. If you get a chance to catch the latest AI singing video that I did, you saw that I presented a song back from my 80s and how full of music it was. And in my day, back in the 80s, all music had that much fullness to it, the different sounds. I even left some sounds off because I didn't want to choke off the actual singing. But that's how I came up in the style of gospel music. Not that what's happening today is bad. It's just different from what helped to uh, pile on, you might say, all of the attributes that I love to instruct in getting a particular sound for a different type of song. If the song doesn't require 30 chords, then we use the 4 or 5 that gets the song across to the person that's actually listening. Anyway, we'll get into that conversation. Again, I'm thankful for those who are coming in. I'm supposed to see. Yes, I can see it. You've got to highlight the timer and how many eyeballs are watching and the amount of likes that you've got. And I've got 2 so far, and I do appreciate that. So we're going to look at this song that was requested by in our chat. All of my steps I can't touch. I've already been copyrighted on that, but I can touch it from a standpoint of don't make it sound like all of my steps. That I can do. I've gotten very good at doing that. But we'll look at I Know It Was the Blood by Delio Thedred. I am not sure of that artist, but we'll see what it sounds like. And thanks for those who are watching from my YouTube channel. I am simulcasting this podcast or this feed for Saturday to the YouTube, to the Facebook page. So if you want to come over and have some conversation or get your request in, because right now we only have possibly 2 in so far, you're welcome to come do that. I Know It Was the Blood. Let's see. There it is. All right, so we're not going to air it. Did I have a chance to listen to it? 12 years old. Let me see what it sounds like. And I'm going to go on mute. Okay, I'm just having trouble getting this page to register correctly. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, everything is blown up for some reason, and it shouldn't be. All right, Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we got your request from Facebook Messenger. All right, Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we got your request from Facebook
All
Messenger.
right, that's what happens
We
when you don't
offer
pre-test things.
Christ. I'm going to say it's the one by Paul Morton, because you mentioned that it is an altar
All right,
call type of
let me-
song, so we're going to go with that one.
Ecamm
It's
is
in
not
the
talking
key of
to
G
OBS
flat.
correctly.
I always
let's
believe in
do
teaching
this.
a song in the key that it
Oh, I was
is
listening to the
originally
song.
in,
It's
because you may be requested to change the key based upon
not
the
traditional
vocal,
gospel,
vocalness.
but we can cover it. I'm just resetting the OBS software.
All right, Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we got your request from Facebook Messenger. We offer Christ. I'm going to say it's the one by Paul Morton, because you mentioned that it is an altar call.
All right, let's see what that did. Oh, still not right. That is not good. I want to be able to show the chorus, but I can't show it if it's all blown up like that. Let's see what I need to do to adjust that. It looks good there. Looks good in the camera switcher, but when I'm putting it into the program, it's too blown up. Let's see what. Okay, zoom. Nope, that's not it. There are a lot of features here that they give you. Ah, maybe that's it right there. Okay, so that works there. So let's go to that might be it. Yes, there it is. Okay. Got it fixed. So, I Know It Was the Blood by Delio Thread. It has a. Maybe I'll let you hear it. It's got some chords that are not traditional. Let's change the sound location. All right. This is what it sounds like. I'm sure YouTube fair. There it is, camera. YouTube fair use for educational purposes. It's symphonic in sound, not something that you might hear on Sunday morning before the minister, but it's music.
As I celebrated about it, brooded over the ills and the ills of humanity today, I became distressed in my spirit because it seemed like.
So let me stop that so that YouTube does not come after me. Okay. Is it D minor or is it F major? D minor is F major. if you start the scale correctly, which is why you can get this, because that's in the F major scale. So D minor. So much conversation in the very beginning, though. Let's see what's happening a little bit later on. Let's continue.
By UPS. He didn't send it by the United States mail service, but he decided to send it through time, through the channel of a human woman named Mary. After 42 generations, our medicine made it to earth. And our medicine walked around on the face of the earth for a while. I said, what was it, Lord? He said, well, it was packaged in somebody named Jesus. And the medicine is...
All right, so let me stop right there. You're good to go. You move the mic. We can't see your left hand. Am I still doing that thing with the mic? Sorry. I've got the window blocking my view. That's why I didn't see it there. Those are your primary chords, and of course they're D minor. And if you were to start in the key of F, you will find that it's the same as the F major scale, which means you can borrow chords from F major. That's what I hear so far. Let's listen some more.
Called blood. I said, but you know, there are a lot of problems with blood nowadays. He said, no, but you don't understand. This is pure blood. Because it came directly from me. And so I said, well, what should I do with this blood? He said, well, if you want to deal with the ails and the ills of society, let me tell you what to do with it. What can wash away your sins? I said, what? He said, nothing.
Diminished chords. It's a symphonic classical sound. Go forward a little more and see there's something change. Okay, it does change. Let's hear the change.
Precious about the blood of Jesus. Listen, there's something wonderful about the blood of Jesus. There's power in the blood of Jesus. Healing in the blood of Jesus.
I want to hear the choir part. I got to have conversations so that YouTube algorithm will at least hear me talk to the video before they give me a notification. So this song, it's lengthy. In this presentation, we haven't really heard the choir sing, but we do hear the music. So the music is going to be centered around the D minor. Now you can go straight to the C or go to the diminished, B flat diminished 7th. Both are acceptable. Why? That classical sound. That's an exercise I used to do just to practice trying to hear all the potential chords I could put in a minor scale. All right, let's see if we can catch the change now. Go ahead a little bit. Right down the scale. Here comes the choir. choir voicing will give you 60 to 70% of the chords used in the song. Pay attention to choir vocals. Now there's our change. Almost like a Smallwood song. D, going to diminish your seven. Again, it's that Smallwood turn, classical turn. Let's go back and listen with that change. It's a Smallwood turn. All right, let's see if there's something different that's coming later on. Usually they repeat.
The blood came streaming down. The blood came streaming down. The blood came streaming down for me. On the day when I was alone, died upon a cross. It was the blood for me.
So you look for the patterns. I didn't catch all of it the first time, but the second time I was listening more to where the pattern was going. They hear here's a pattern to the minor, then up to the major, then to the minor, then back to the minor, then this change, which is an E flat 7 or D diminished. Now, if you've listened to any of these Smallwood songs that have this actual minor touch to them, the Kurt Carr, For Every Mountain has it. The what other song has this minor touch to it? Well, Richard Smallwood's what is that song? How excellent, oh Lord, how excellent is thy name. while for me to figure this out. So this song has that flavor. What did I mention? Kurt Carr's "For Every Mountain." This is why when you learn all the other artists' songs, you will find those same chords embedded in their songs. Then you say, well, did they steal those chords from another artist? They may have borrowed them. Which makes it easier to learn songs like this one. Okay, I think there's not much left. Let's see what we got before we go to the next one.
The side. Yes, they did. They pierced him in the side for me. On the cross.
It's the change I want to hear. Okay, and that's where we're up to now. And this is near the end.
Up on the cross.
So you look for the change. Now we go to the key of F. Five, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6. If we're in the key of F. If we're in the key of D minor, then we're in the 1. It's a flat 7 because it's a minor. 1, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. That's why I don't like the number system. I like chords, scales, progressions, the actual note names. This way I'm not thinking numbers. This change I know already from all the different songs. This change I know from different songs. And that's what I'm relying on. The minute I heard the changes, I'm like, oh, they're going here. That's where they are. If you can, please tell us the trick technique you are using not to take the lead away from him, like the accompaniment that you are demonstrating. Well, you're supporting whatever. If there's a lead singer, then your chords are underneath, or unless you're going, you're spacing it out. If your lead is here, then you don't want to be. Your chords don't want to be here. You want to be below here, or up above, leaving this open. I'm leaving that alone because that's where the lead voice is. It's like if you're in a band, like as I was, if you have a trumpet player that's playing, not everybody's playing the trumpet player's notes. They're either above it or below it, but they're leaving this space, this space of musical articulation for the lead, and you're not as loud with the lead. Now I'm playing loud now, just to emphasize where the chords are. But that's all that is a space So because it's a lower tone, they're down around here, but the choir is up here, which means they're above where the lead is, but they're not in the same space. They're not singing down here, they're singing up here. This is where the choir vocals are. That's the choir vocals, though, which is why the lead mic is always louder than the choir's mic, so that they don't blend together, that there is an actual distinction. But from a chording standpoint, your chords are to, if it's to, in this case, emphasize what they're singing right now, you have to make the loudness of the instruments be somewhat just below the choirs. Otherwise, you lose. You don't want them down here while the choir is singing loud. So they got to be up here. But again, that's what the producers work on. I think we're almost to the very end. Let's see what's left in the song. Song. Minor. This thing about music, especially when gospel music begins to cross over into the other genres of music, there is a I'm see if I can pull it up. We have a little conversation right now, so we give AI a that's not who I want. I want this one. There we go. There's a image that I'm gonna pull it up from my other gentlemen that shares musical scales and chords on Facebook, and he posted a genre list, and I was surprised that I didn't see gospel on there. So I wanted to have a conversation as to, here it is, why was gospel left off, yet only one person made a comment on it. So let's see if I can share this screen. There we go. Now, I saw how to do this to bring me in. Give me a second to go find it. Where are you? There it is. Here I am. Yes, I am still learning. Okay. So I saw this post on Facebook by Vic Piano. This gentleman posts everything music. A lot of things that I've shared on my channel, he has better versions of it. Now I'm not snatching things, but I did share this on my page, because when I looked at everything that's covered here, what's missing from this genre? I'll just read it out for those who may be listening. We have alternative at the top, disco, reggae, R&B, country, folk, metal, pop, punk, indie, rap, hip-hop, classical, blues, jazz, and rock. And then they have these subsets: rave, ska, soul, country funk, heavy metal, country pop, sika punk, indie pop, freestyle rap, hip-hop, opera, modern jazz, indie rock. And I'm like, where's gospel on this genre chart? So again, these are conversations that when people are questioning, well, that gospel music started it all. And I'm like, okay, maybe I missed that class where they said that all of this music came from gospel music. If that is the conversation, then where is gospel music, or why doesn't gospel music have a centering point of view on this chart? Now, again, I understand it's in the eye of the beholder. I'm going to center myself in there, because this is conversations that I would love to be. I don't want to say hosted, because I'm not an aficionado on the genres of music at where it began. I do know that it did not begin in the United States. It was brought over into the United States from the cultures, from the Eastern cultures. That's why we have the piano and all that. There was no piano here with the Indians. I'll put it like that. So, and the different cultures that were indigenous to this country, they weren't playing violins and all that. That was brought into the genre of music. And thank God, because I love the good sound of an excellent violin player. But in this portrayal of the different genres, and I'll say these are the genres that are prominent, that are everybody can lay claim to. I sound like metal, I sound like country, I sound like R&B, I sound like reggae. Why is gospel music not here? Sound of Joy, in its presentation, and that's me, Sound of Joy, wants to keep the sound of the traditional gospel music to the forefront to those who are coming into the actual digital space. I love the sound of gospel music in the era in which I came up in, because I participated in its introduction into the traditional Pentecostal church. Every time I had to learn a song from an album, from a CD, from an actual cassette tape, I was now introducing that song to the church and the congregation. So I wanted to sound exactly like the reproduction that I heard on that musical presentation. As you heard me going over this song, that was the blood. You saw me going to where the minor was, where the diminished was, some of the runs they were doing. That's how I interpreted the music as a youngster. And so when I sat to play, usually on the piano for the first 9 years, you would have thought that I was on the album. Now, if we didn't have those type of singers, sometimes we had to change the key. If I had to change the key, I still had to have that same fervor in the song when the key changed. So, I always want to question uh, why is not gospel music still relative, uh, at least as a derivative of maybe country and folk and R&B, maybe in between R&B and country, you could have had a small line or a asterisk for gospel music. A conversation that I would probably want to do if I can get enough people who want to be honest enough to actually talk about it. Because I love the sound of gospel music. I came up with it. You might say, well, that's the old school thoughts to things. Well, yeah, I will put that to it. It is probably an old school thought that I'm more comfortable with it. But then I'm comfortable with any kind, as you can see. I don't care what it is, as long as it makes musical sense and I can listen to it without having a sheet music in front of me. I can interpret what was presented by the actual presentation. I'm missing something here. Here it is. Vic Piano has R and that message must have disappeared. But let me just make sure I didn't miss any questions. And again, I'm thankful for those who are watching, and of course those who are watching from Facebook. You're welcome to come to YouTube and have conversation and give a request. I think Order My Steps was the next request by one of our chat viewers. Let me see. If you could please tell us the trick or technique that you're using to not take the leader's lead away from him. I like the accompaniment that you were. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I did talk through that. You want to place your chords either above or somewhat below where the leader is singing, so that you're not stepping on their notes. Otherwise, they'll have to sing harder and louder, and it begins to sound like a big mishmash. Order My Steps, again, YouTube has already given me a notification on my last time I played Order My Steps. I didn't take it off the channel, but I accepted what they call it's a copyright notification. It's not a strike against the channel, but it is I cannot monetize that video. And I can understand the rules that they have in place. People would not come to listen to your channel playing someone else's song, and you get monetized by it when the original copyright owners are not getting anything. So I can accept that as a means of not what is it? I'm always trying to find a different analogy. What the copyright laws are. It's just like when you're in church. If you've got a choir that's got a tremendous sound and you get more offertory in the pan because they come to hear that sound, but they're singing somebody else's song, that songwriter said, but if you weren't singing my song, you wouldn't have that, your offering pans would not be that much heavier from my song. So send me some money, which is why they have, I think it's the copyright licensing, where if you're singing song from someone else, you have to register that you're singing their song, and the fee that is paid, they peel off some compensation towards that songwriter so that everybody benefits from you singing somebody else's song, which is why I'm pushing being creative and creating your own music. This way, you bypass all of the legalities. One thing I learned as a youngster, I joined the Gospel Music Association, and this is just conversation, in my past, because I wanted to see how the gospel music industry works from a business sense. Beyond all of this, we're singing to the glory of God and we want to sing his spirit down. No, there was some money attached to it. That's the end I wanted to get an understanding of. And what I found out was that if you're better than who they currently have signed up, but you want to push your content to them by sending a tape. Back then, they said if you send a tape to us, it goes right in the trash because we're not going to invest in you if we have people already under contract. But if you shake up the dust where you are, we'll hear about you, which means don't worry about coming over here. But if you make a big dust storm of your quality and your talent and your production where you are, we'll know about you. Why? Because now you are now affecting their bottom line from their signed artist. So I always took that as good common sense. Don't try to make a name for myself off of somebody else's music, but create my own and be as creative as possible, which is why you see me now using the AI singers for music that I've done in my past that I did not have I'll say a pure voice to work with. I had church voices, which means people who were stressed out from the week, who were tired in rehearsals, who were giving up their time until something else better came along, and you work with, whosoever will voices. Now I get an opportunity to, with synthesize or synthesizer type vocals, to realize what music I've written in the past could have sounded like. All right. Order My Steps is the next song requested. No, I cannot play it as a song, but I can, and I have done it already on the channel as an actual breakdown. Just setting up my Chordy app to go to the D flat. One of the media ministry ministers always play a scrolling message saying something like, "We don't own the rights to the music. Give me rights. I shall not steal." Well, again, it comes down to what, how much you pay your lawyers. I think I've mentioned this before. I've been on YouTube since 2006. In 2008, I played I Love You, Lord, Today, just as a musical piece to be able to show musicians this is how you can play this song and learn it to play for your church. Well, in 2021, I believe it was, 2 videos of that song on my YouTube channel were taken down, and I received a copyright strike. Now, the strike means you've offended somebody, and they went as far as to get a legal team in place. They wanted to close. They want to shut down my channel for 2 videos I did in 2008 of I Love You, Lord, Today, and I got an email from the legal team that now owns the right to that song. And the first thing that went to my mind was, but in 2008, no one was coming after me. Why not give me a warning and I'll take the video down? No, YouTube pulled the video. Later, I found out they were doing the same thing to other content creators who also did a version of that song, singing it and playing it. So I put the warning out to other musicians who I knew have a YouTube channel and who have that song on it. I says, be aware, they are coming after you. The legal people are. So I was on what's the word they want to use? Probation for 90 days. If I broke that probation, then my channel would have been shut down. So I'm talking about it now, but I didn't talk about it. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not even gonna try and sneak the chords on there. Whenever somebody would ask, I go, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. I've been warned. Hey, 28, welcome. So Order My Steps was flagged on my channel, not as a strike, but as a notification that I'm playing a copyrighted song that is on YouTube. In fact, if you notice the react and breakdown videos that I'm using, I'm getting from TikTok. I'm not even going to YouTube because YouTube has a way of putting some coding on their videos. Even if you chop it up, the AI can recognize that where you got it from. So I've been noticing other content creators are using TikTok videos, and then they can play those videos. So I'm like, you know what? I can learn from these guys too. So I'm switching, not TikTok, from Instagram. That's what I meant to say. So, well, TikTok has a lot of videos also, but I've been going to Instagram. This way I bypass the coding. Somehow they do it. And again, technology is at that level where they can flag it to say, oh no, this is from our channel and it's copyright protected. My videos are also the same way. I get notification, and I'm going to get to go to my steps. I get notifications on my analytics steps. My videos are being used by another channel, and I go look at it and I can see who it is. I can put a strike against I can put a strike against them for using it and demand that they take it down. But when I look at it, it's only got like 3 views on another channel. No ankle bracelet, but they did give me a stern enough warning that says that your channel is in jeopardy of being removed. And I'm like, for videos from 2008 where there was no singing, with a poor camera and a bad microphone over the speakers in my house, and you're going after me for that? I said, if anything, you should say, well, what did I do? I did an organ version of I Won't Complain. They locked up that video so that I couldn't monetize it. But I noticed that they were running ads on the video. I said, hold on, wait a minute. I Won't Complain. Okay, copyrighted song. I must have played it too well. I played it like I was in church when an actual simulated Hammond organ sound. There was nobody singing it, but I played it like I would in church. So it was enough for the algorithm to say, well, you can't monetize this video, but they could. So I pulled the video myself. I said, you know what? If I can't make anything from this video, you're certainly not, YouTube. And you can do that. If they're going to, and again, I realize the rules change unless you have somebody monitoring it for you. But order my steps. Again, I cannot play the song, but I can play the chords and just leave the melody out. So let's go to this page. Beautiful song, Order My Steps. Again, I was there when the song came out, and I learned it exactly the way I heard it on the album. And I realized a lot of musicians are coming to the musical presentation of this song, absence of the initial effect it had when it first came out. I'm just doing that. That's 3 notes. And I'm going to pause right there and have some conversation so that I don't get So for the number system counters, it's a 6, 5, 4, 2, 3, 6. There we go. 2, 5, 1, 2, sharp 2, 3, flat the 4, 2, no, the 4, there it is, 5, 1. Now you can go 7 or 4, 4, 3, 6, or 7, 3, 6. Pick your poison. Pick the path you want to take, because either one is good. I like to have alternative paths. I might want to go because I might be feeling a little bit classical with a jazz touch. Pick your path. And you just follow the path down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 6, 2, stay in the 2, but a 5 bass, the 1, and then the sharp 4, and this again is the whole tone. There it is. To get this chord, 4, 5, and then the walk up is into, well, the verse is the same pattern. Now you get a little jazzy with your tone. What does Cordiap call this? A B minor 9. B minor 7th. G flat. E minor over a nice full jazz chord. F minor. B minor. E flat with the 7th in there, or just leave the 7th, or I like the 7th in there. 5. Now there's this drop down. Very important chord. 2. 4. Let's do the bass. Now for the lead up to passing tones to I Want to Walk Worthy. So you got 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to walk worthy. I want to walk worthy. Passing tones. I want to walk. I want to. There it is. There it is. With a D7th on the bottom. This is the jazz or the gospel sound. Drop down. The 4, Thy Calling. Flat G7 all. Put that flat 7th on it. Give it a nice jazzy tone. Calling to fulfill 1. And then the same walk up. Please order my steps, Lord. Now you go 7, 3, 6, 7, 1. No. 6 to the 2 major, but with a 7th on it. Do your blessed will. Now you can go here. Blessed 5. Stay on the 5. Why am I forgetting the words? The world is ever changing. The world is ever changing. I should know these words by heart because I actually taught the song to the United Methodist Church choir that I played for. They had never heard Order My Steps in the United Methodist Church because their musicians were of the skilled level where they played the songs that were more of a anthem classical nature. So when I joined, I brought in the early gospel flavor that was never introduced to a group of, I'll call them middle-aged singers because they all read by sheet music, which means I had to create sheet music. And let me just stop right now so that I don't offend the algorithm. Let me show you the level of production I had as a church musician. If you give me a chance to take a step here and pull up my old stuff. Because I was always about educating myself musically, not just to play the piano, to shout the house, or to play for the preacher, but I was always an actual innovative musician who wanted to be a part of the music industry in any way I possibly can. So when I got an opportunity to serve at a United Methodist Church, and they informed me, well, we sing by sheet music, and they showed me a cabinet full of sheet music, probably 70 years of sheet music because it was an older church. And talk about someone's heart rejoicing that I've got some singers to now work with that won't require me to sing to them to learn songs, but all I have to do is create sheet music. Using all this technology that I've learned over the years, I could now create sheet music and have singers read or sing exactly. This is Richard Smallwood's Healing. That I used software to create, and they sang every note exactly the way it was scored out because they went home with their piano and started playing and learning their parts. Songs that I created from using software. He's Sweet I Know, Come Let Us Adore Him. Which one? Okay. What was that? Oh, yeah, that's the contemporary one. Come Let Us Adore Him, kneel down before Him. Yep, worship and adore Him. So, and I'm wondering if Order My Steps. No, Order My Steps wasn't in here because we were able to, they had that song already. This is one that they love. And yes, I did it for soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. So when I talk about the sound of gospel music, I don't just say it's just the music playing only, but it is the sound that comes out of the vocalist also. And you can't fake that sound. I'm going to see what else is here that I can. No, I can't do that one because they came after me on that song. I heard a song on Facebook, a gentleman teaching a song on Facebook, and I said, "Gee, that's a nice song. I want the choir to learn that song as an intro song." So I'll show the song here. only to find out after I put it on Facebook. I mean, after I put it on YouTube, No Other God Like You, Most High King, Ruler of Everything. So I didn't know who the artist was until I found out who the artist. This is what, 2004, 2000. When did she come after me? Came after me on YouTube. Someone on YouTube saw when I posted the song because I wanted to share this song with anyone who wanted to learn it, because I see I created the sheet music along with chords around it. This is what I've been doing since 1999. This is nothing new for me to be able to do. Well, anyway, the songwriter contacted me through, I want to say it was through YouTube, a comment. How dare you put my song on YouTube? And I'm like, hold on. First of all, I did not know that you owned the song, because I heard the song being taught at a workshop, and I wanted to share it with not only my choir, but with anybody else on YouTube. So I pulled the song off of YouTube, because that's the respect I have for songwriters. I couldn't tell you if she was a songwriter or not, because I've never heard the song sung anywhere. And it's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song. I may touch on it, but because I can listen and to sit down to a computer and a keyboard and actually create the sheet music to sound like I could hear it, and then put the chords in that, and then be able to share that sheet music with the more skilled singers or vocalists, that's what I enjoy doing. Again, never want to step on toes of content creators. If you create the song and you share it freely, or it's been shared by someone else, and then you have an issue when you hear myself or another content creator using that song without your permission, because we don't know who you are or where to find you, give us some leniency, because we don't steal. We take advantage of what we listen, and we try to enhance it and then make it more approachable for someone else. Then I'm going to leave this open right here, because I'm going to touch on that song. Because when I heard the video presentation of it, or snippet, just like someone does, they put up, let me see, No Other God Like You. There we go. As you can see, I put the chords to it exactly the way that I play the song, for a musician that would see the video to say, gee, I want to teach that song to my choir, because it's got a nice set of lyrics. It's got a nice chord tones to it. This gives an opportunity to share, to freely share. Again, was one of those videos that did not, I wasn't monetized back then. I didn't get monetized until 2021. That's when YouTube finally, I said, well, gee, you guys don't want to give me an answer from when they first started. But that didn't stop me from wanting to share. So I'm going to share this also, because, again, it is from a music standpoint, especially from a gospel music standpoint, you want to continue to grow. And you grow from everything that you could possibly listen to. You just look for where the music is, and then you add your own flavoring to it, which is what I did. I heard the recording. I was a gentleman teaching the song to in a church. And I said, gee, that's a nice song. Oh, okay. Well, let's keep the lyrics. Let's keep the melody. Here's the chords I would put with it. So let me put this where I can reach back for it. Let me do this like this. And let's get back to Order My Steps. All right, so I got the word worthy. Calling you. Calling to fulfill. The world is ever changing is where I stop. Number 4, but you are 3, still the same 6. Please order my steps to 2 and walk it up 3, 4. I'll praise the 5 with the 1 chord. Praise your, because you're going to resolve it with that 7th on it, because that gives it that gospel sound. Praise your name. Now 7. Let me see. There we go. Because we're going to go back to the 5 or 3, and walk it up the circle of 4. Order my steps is back to the 6, which is a B flat.
Order my steps in your word. Stay in the 6, but lower your bass to the 5. Guide my feet. That is to get that sound. This is a classical sound. The 4. What did I cover? Order this word. Let's see. Order my steps in your word. Order my tongue in your word. Guide my feet. The 4. Guide my feet in your word. Now you can go right down the scale. Wash my heart. Wash my heart. Because now we're in the key of F. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the F. Wash my heart in your word. Back to the 4. Show me how to walk in your word. Same path. Show me how to talk in your word. Now here we're going to go with a G flat 7. When I need a brand new song to sing. When I, or if I think it's when I need a brand new song to sing. Watch this change. Show me how to hold that note. Show me how to let your praises ring in your 6. So all these chords are in the classical nature. So when you listen to classical music, and any kind that has Mozart, Chopin, Tchaikovsky, you will hear these chords being borrowed from them for these type of songs. Gospel music has its own flavoring. It sounds more like you're playing jazz. That's where gospel music. But when they start going this, that means the songwriter, composer, or the producer said, hey, this would sound better if you went in your word, in your, now the chord changes. 4, 3, 6 major, and your, I'll call this your jazz turnaround. 2, order my steps. 5, in your word, right up the scale and to your whole tone. Now you will find that chord used in 90% of gospel songs because it's a turn chord to take you to the 4. In the 5, word, back to the 1. Gospel music has, which is why they're on that chart, it's kind of disheartening not to see gospel, even a footnote, as a recognized genre. But I think when you keep changing and borrowing from so many different other genres, gospel music becomes like diluted Kool-Aid. If you keep adding water to Kool-Aid, after a while it doesn't taste like Kool-Aid. It may have a different tint to it, but you got to keep adding something to it in order to keep its flavor. Gospel, the sound of gospel, you got to keep adding to it to keep it recognizable. But then whatever is the strongest tone, the strongest sound, that becomes the sound of that day. So what I try to do is to keep a recognized gospel sound. Make sure I did not miss any comments.
I believe we still have 3 in the room, and I won't keep you. I said I was going to look at that song, No Other God Like You. It's in the key of E flat. Let me see. Most High King, ruler of everything. There is no other God like you. And it repeats, Most High King, ruler of everything. There is no other God like you. There is no other God who can save us. There is no other God who forgave us. There is no other God who loves me like you do. There is no other God like you. And it's a shame that that song did not emerge. Which is why sometimes when you go to workshops and you teach a song that you're writing, unless somebody picks it up, it'll just die when that workshop is over. Now you shouldn't use the word die, but it doesn't get amplified enough to where everybody can actually benefit from your songwriting skills. In fact, if I wasn't concerned with offending the songwriter, I would use my AI choir and do that song and give it the actual justice that that song should have. Let me see. Most High King. I got to be careful because I don't want someone else to go running with this. Ruler of everything. There is no other God like you. And it's in unison. Most High King. These are the changes I put with it. Ruler of everything. There is no, the gospel turnaround, other God like you. There is, in 3-part harmony, no other God who can save us. There is no other God who forgave us. There is no other God. Unison, who loves me like you do. 3-part, there is no other God like you. And that's all I will do of that song. If the songwriter does get notified that I have done that, I am just sharing a beautiful song that should have gotten a brighter light. What app we're using to generate what app am I using to generate? I didn't get the full question from the chat. It takes 30 seconds for any comment I say to get to the person in the chat. I'm going to say, if you're talking, what app am I using to generate the notes? It's called the Quoty app. If that was the continuation of your question, I am not sure. And I hear I've got guests in the house, which is why I said I may have to stop this live, because when you have guests in the house, you want to attend to them, make sure they don't break anything inadvertently, or if there is a need that you need to assist them with. Talbot Gospel Choir. No, I use Dreamtronics. They are my virtual choir, in a sense, a true virtual choir. Let me just change my point of view. I'm making a mess around here. Yes, as I say, so much music out there that has been dismissed as old timey, old school, no longer relevant to this day and age. Yet we're seeing so much destruction. Start with it right there. Dismay, disappointment. That people need to have music that came through kind of what they're going through right now. There are a lot of young kids who don't know nothing about eating SpaghettiOs and hot dogs for dinner. You know, if you tell them they can't go to Chipotle, they fall to the ground having a fit. I came up on SpaghettiOs and cut up hot dog. You didn't get the full hot dog. It was cut up and mixed in there. And we were happy that we got something to eat, not knowing that 60 years later, kids were having a falling out because you're not taking them to Starbucks to get a $10 egg sandwich with a little bit of ham in it. Times change, but music doesn't. Gospel music, if musicians of my era won't keep that era of music alive, then it's a real disservice to those youngsters who are coming up now, who are leaning towards being able to support a church ministry, but have no idea of what real, and it's not just playing chords. As you can see, when I play, I'm singing musically. You're hearing the keyboard emote through my hands, through the touch, through the chords selected, what I'm feeling at that very moment. Yes, I realize nowadays everybody wants to get the latest keyboard because it'll put them a leg up on the other musicians who can't afford to get it. You know, that's just more payments for them. But I can still play on the Casio, on the actual spin-it piano, and not have any fear of getting the same sound I can get out of my Yamaha, provided it's in tune. And if it's not in tune, I don't have my bag here. I carry an actual piano tuning kit I carried one in my church bag because sometimes over the week some keys may go a little flat. I get the service 2 hours earlier, and I want to be able to show that because that's what I did. Let me just go change this scene a little bit. You had to be there. But I wasn't just a show up and play musician, but if it required that the piano be in tune because it shifted, I have my own professional piano tuning kit. Because when I worked with my father as a youngster, he would tune church pianos, so I have everything. Always get bothered. Necessary for, let me see, this is A440.
Hello.
I am on live. Piano tuning kit. Let's see. Here is it's my daughter harassing me. I have I lost one somewhere. Still know where it's at. But I have the stoppers for being able to separate the notes. What is this key of? Oh, okay, that was A440. It's the key of C. That's how serious I was about being a musician, not just to go there and play, but to be able and support the entire service before the service even started. I always put stuff away, so I'm doing that too. And even though I'm not a musician anymore, in a sense, tune to C. Okay. I still keep the tools of the trade. I even had a Korg tuner to make sure that I was. In fact, I need to check. Did I change the battery? Excuse me. Okay, sometimes you gotta speak to people. So the battery's still good. So when I would tune the piano, I would verify that everything sounded good with my portable Korg chromatic tuner. Musicians like me are not common, even back in my day. No one took it to that point to be able to say, let me help. If the church can't afford someone to come in and tune the piano, let me do it so that the service will sound and the music will sound as appropriate as possible. Nowadays, with all your keyboards, that's not necessary. And yes, I do carry a chart so that if a youngster walked up to me and says, I want to learn to play the piano, I put one of these in their hand and I went to the piano and I sat with them and we began to learn about playing the scales. So I was an all-purpose musician, not just play the service and then out the door to another service, but I stayed until anything music related was covered. I'm going to bring this to the close. I've got company upstairs. I'm being called to come in and show my face and do whatever it is I need to do to support guests. So I thank you all for being with us. Sound of Joy Music Services. I love gospel music, but then I love, as you can see, anything that musically makes a pleasing sound. I'm working on getting an outro page. I just put up a video page of a song that I did for another viewer. Let's see, one of my, who did I do this for? I did broke down a song for a gentleman from Facebook, and I put that video on as a promo video when I have to walk away from the room. So I'm building this channel to do more than just play music, but to have conversation also, because I want musicians to be as well rounded as possible. So you might see me back here after my guests have left. I know we're talking about snow here in the East Coast for tomorrow on Sunday, and I don't go out there until it stops. So there'll be no pulling my back or slipping on snow, because I'll be 69 this year in about 4 months. So I want to be able to get there as healthy as possible. And if I got to pay someone to come and shovel, I will certainly do that too. So thanks again for watching Sam Tobert's Sound of Joy Music Services. Always love to thank those who have come into the room. And we have Sawa Music TV. Thank you. G. Albert, Eric Williams, Micah Flemings. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. I believe 28th. Yes, I got you. So thank you all for watching. And yes, I may be back after my guest has gone and I've cleaned up anything I need to clean up, because you do want to give guests an opportunity to feel at home in your house. Oh, you ain't thrilled by the AI singers? You didn't like the song What Manner of Man Is This that I put up? I'm trying to make them sound as gospel as possible, and I'm having a ball doing it. Don't throw them out yet. They're about the most purest singers that singing voices you're going to hear, without all the rough edges that the gospel sound has. I'm looking. I think the software Dreamtonics synthesizer, that's a hard word for me to get out, V Pro, is coming out with a second generation of that software, I believe next month. Yes, I will be purchasing it, thanks to the support of those of you here on YouTube and the Patreon page. I will be purchasing it, because if they've upgraded it to where they've added more realistic sounding voices that I can perhaps morph into that gospel sound, I want to be a part of it, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. 8:30 p.m. Well, okay, maybe I can convince you to enjoy the AI singers if I. No, I can't. Well, can I do that? I'm just thinking what song I could possibly do for you that you might appreciate what they're capable of doing. Give me a song. Put it in the comment. A song that, and make it as hard as possible. Pick a hard song, gospel, of course, that you would want to hear. See what if an AI singer can convince you that there's some soul in them. Nope, no problem, no problem. I'll see if I can find something that might give you a a slight turn of heart to say I'll listen. I mean, I'm not playing on a real piano yet. You appreciate the music that I'm playing on. That's kind of computerized. Just throwing it out there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sam Tobin, Sound of Joy Music Services. As always, make a joyful noise unto the Lord. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday, 28. I know you're into your evening, so you'll be in Sunday in a few hours. So enjoy your day tomorrow. If you're in the snow zone that is coming up, because I always keep track of not what happens here in the East Coast, but what happens from the West Coast to the East Coast, because I need to know who I need to address. Oh, okay, not a problem. Not a problem. 28. Take care. And again, thank you for your support during 2024. So, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. I've got to tend to guests. Be blessed. Take care. Bye. Got to change the page.